Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the super duper world of sports. And this is the week 3 power rankings, starting with Thursday Night Football, Steelers versus Browns, and ending with Monday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys versus New York Giants. So let's get into it. Number 32, we have the Houston Texans playing the Chicago Bears. I think it's going to be a better matchup for them, obviously. But, still the Texans didn't do exceptional last week against the Denver Broncos, so it's uncertain. Next up is their opponent, the Chicago Bears. Again, 0-2 now. Haven't shown that they're anything exceptional. Actually, that should be 1-1. Sorry. Uh, Even though they're 1-1, I believe the 49ers win was kind of a fluke. Number 30 is the actually 0-2 Carolina Panthers. They're playing their division rival, the New Orleans Saints, this week. I think they should get ran over by the Saints this week, based on how they've been playing as of late. Number 29, yeah, is the Atlanta Falcons, who are playing the Seattle Seahawks, a bird matchup here. 0-2 Atlanta Falcons now. I think this one should be a doozy. I don't know who's going to win this one, but both are very bad teams, in my opinion. Jacksonville Jaguars actually do have a win on the season versus the Los Angeles Chargers this week. Definitely going to be a loss. I know Justin Herbert is day to day. If he's injured, then the tables might turn a little bit. But if not, then it's a guaranteed win for Chargers. Number 27, Indianapolis Colts are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Colts always tend to lose to bad teams and win against good teams. So I'm not sure, man. It could go either way, but on paper, the Chiefs should win this one by quite a bit. Washington Commanders at number 26 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles have a lot of momentum coming into week 3. Definitely more momentum than the Commanders can handle, in my opinion. Number 25, New York Jets playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it's finally time that the Bengals bounce back, man. First 2 weeks have been rough, but definitely going to be a great bounce back this week. Sorry, Joe Flacco has put up surprisingly good numbers, but not going to be good enough to keep up with the Cincinnati offense. Number 24, Seattle Seahawks playing the Atlanta Falcons, as we mentioned earlier. So Geno Smith, again, not the best. He can manage the field pretty well, but not well enough. And DK Metcalf is going to be matched up with AJ Terrell most of the game, so it's going to be tough to get him the ball. I'm going to have to see how they plan the game there. Number 23, Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to be quite a lot for the Browns to handle. I think only Nick Chubb is going to get a lot of success this time around. Amari Cooper might get some looks, but not nearly as many as Nick Chubb. Steelers at number 22, the 1-1 Steelers now, playing the Cleveland Browns, of course. Just one rank ahead of their Thursday Night Football matchup. Again, as we discussed, the defense should be able to hold up against the Browns offense for the most part pretty well. And as long as they get Deontay Johnson more involved, and Najee Harris looks like he's good to go after 2 games, playing through injury a little bit. So if those 2 guys are good, then the whole team is going to be awesome. Number 21, Tennessee Titans, 0-2, man. I had to put them this low because they're 0-2 and just got throbbed by the Buffalo Bills. Playing the Las Vegas Raiders this week, not necessarily an easier matchup for them. The talent on the Raiders is undeniable. They're going to have a very tough time guarding Devontae Adams. They had a tough time guarding Jake Kumaro of the Bills last week. So it's going to be very hard to guard Devontae Adams. Number 20 is the Dallas Cowboys playing the New York Giants, another divisional rivalry matchup here. This is Monday Night Football. This time only one Monday Night Football this time around. Going back to normal normal standards. But the Giants are on a roll, man. Giants are definitely picking up steam. I think the I think the Cowboys last week they got kind of lucky with the win over the Bengals. I saw that their Cooper Rush was able to carry them quite a bit, but I am not sure about who's going to win this one. Actually, for the first time in a long time, I have semi faith in the Giants. Number 19, right there, is the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, we just mentioned in Monday Night Football, they're 2-0. I mean, granted, they did only beat the Carolina Panthers, and so in week 2, of course, but definitely reason to believe that they can at least put up a great fight here. Number 18, almost the middle of the pack, is Patriots facing the Baltimore Ravens. Based on what Lamar Jackson did to the Miami Dolphins defense last week, I have no reason to believe that the Patriots are going to be able to stop him either. The Patriots are now 1-1. I think even with a home advantage, I don't know if the Patriots are going to be able to pull this one out, offensively or defensively. Number 17, the Lions, man. Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's all I have to say. Amon-Ra St. Brown. DeAndre Swift is going off, having himself great first part of the season here. And they're playing the Vikings, who I think they beat them in a latter part of the year last year. So they're coming off that momentum against them. Hopefully they can hold that up. And if they do, it's definitely going to be cemented as at least a mid-ranked team. The Lions have come a long way. 16, Broncos, right above the Lions. I just put them above the Lions because it's the Denver Broncos. Just on paper, they're better, and I have all reason to believe that their team will eventually start gelling. It's a lot of new pieces to get used to, especially Russell Wilson having to get used to his new receivers. I think it's going to start mixing together soon enough. They're playing the San Francisco 49ers, a formidable defense, though, so they're going to have to hold up strong. Number 15, Las Vegas Raiders playing the Tennessee Titans. Las Vegas Raiders are now 0-2, so that is definitely tough for them. Lost to the Cardinals and that heartbreaker. Tennessee Titans, defensively, it should be a pretty good matchup for them. Devontae Adams should be able to torch him. And yeah, Josh Jacobs needs to be more involved, that's for sure. We'll have to see how it turns out. Number 14, Saints playing their divisional rival of the Carolina Panthers. 1-1 now are the Saints. Just on paper, obviously, Jameis Winston, not the best quarterback, as we all know, but Alvin Kamara is there, right? They have Christian McCaffrey, but he actually most recently suffered an ankle injury in practice. So he's back to his old injury-prone ways. New Orleans Saints definitely going to pull this one out, in my opinion. Number 13, Arizona Cardinals. They're facing another divisional matchup against the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, they have quite a bit of momentum coming off last week's win. Definitely quite a bit of reason to believe. I think Arizona Cardinals have a strong case to put up a lot of points in this one. I think even though the defense of the Los Angeles Rams is pretty strong, I think they're going to put up a little bit of a fight. Number 12, Cincinnati Bengals booted out of the top 10 after losing to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dak Prescott-less Dallas Cowboys, that is. Playing the New York Jets this week, and I don't know what to say if the Bengals don't win this week. If the Bengals lose to the Jets again, and by again, I mean the first time they lost was last year. So if they continue that streak, I have completely justified reason to put them below the top 15. I mean, it's getting bad at this point. 0-2 already. They got to pull this one out. Number 11 is the 1-1 Minnesota Vikings, coming off a loss against Philadelphia. Pretty bad loss at that. Facing the Detroit Lions. Technically, Justin Jefferson should be able to have a field day here or against the Detroit defense. Dalvin Cook against the Detroit Lions, pretty bad rush defense. I think he should be able to squeak out quite a bit of yards. But watch out for Amon-Ra St. Brown, man. And into the top 10, we have, at number 10, facing the Denver Broncos are the San Francisco 49ers. Coming off a nice win against the Seattle Seahawks, didn't allow any offensive points to them. The only points they got was a touchdown off a blocked field goal, I think. But yeah, this matchup should be a pretty close one. Sunday Night Football, by the way. Russell Wilson, if their team starts to gel, I think it could be a little bit of a challenge for the 49ers. But if not yet, then I think that this defense is fully capable of putting the Broncos down. Number 9, Baltimore Ravens facing the New England Patriots. Of course, we talked about how Lamar Jackson ripped the Dolphins defense through the air and on the ground last week. And obviously, we can also assume that a kind of almost arguably a worse defense in the Patriots defense will maybe not give up like 45 fantasy points to Lamar Jackson. But I have reason to believe that they're definitely going to let up quite a bit of production from the entire Ravens offense, especially Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay. They've been on the rise very much in the past few weeks. Number 8, Los Angeles Chargers. Quite an easy matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Justin Herbert's there, should be an easy win, no doubt. No need to talk about that. But if not, then pieces will have to come together, man. Chase Daniel is going to have to lead them to the promised land. But just based on how the Jaguars have been doing recently, they did shut out the Colts last week, but that's the Colts. That's how they play against bad teams. That's how they play against the Jaguars particularly. So I don't know if the Chargers are going to have any trouble in this one. Number 7, Green Bay Packers facing quite a tough opponent in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. The run game should be a little bit put down this week. The whole offense should be quite subdued this week because the Buccaneers defense is top 5 in the league. Put up 32 fantasy points last week against the Saints. Ridiculous performance. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I understand that, but definitely, based on the talent on that Packers team, even with that stout defense of the Buccaneers, I think they're going to put up a great fight. Number 6 is the Miami Dolphins, facing their division rival Buffalo Bills, who have owned them in the past few years. But this time around, I definitely have faith. Coming off last week's game, I mean, that was something else. You don't see that every day. Tua Tagovailoa is looking sharper than ever before. And he showed us that he's able to support 2 top 10 receivers on the same team, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And of course, you have a stout defense. But you're facing Josh Allen. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup this time around. Number 6, I put them at because of their performance last week. That's all I have to say. Number 5 is the Los Angeles Rams. They're facing another divisional opponent. It's the Arizona Cardinals this time. Now, Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp should have their way as always. It doesn't matter the matchup. Cooper Kupp will always have his way. I think the running game should be quite shut down. They have a pretty good defensive line. The Cardinals do, that is. And the Rams defense, though, I think they'll hold up just fine against the Arizona offense. Really, Rondale Moore still isn't back to my knowledge. And as long as he's not back, it's proving of detriment to the team. Number 4, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. talked about earlier, they're facing the Green Bay Packers. As you can see, uh, defense, offense, both definitely better than the Green Bay Packers. So I have full faith in the Buccaneers winning this one and starting the season 3-0. Number 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles at at 2-0. They're facing the Commanders, who are coming off a loss against the Detroit Lions last week. Pretty embarrassing loss. They almost, I mean, they almost won it. Lions pulled away the last minutes though. Definitely going to be an easy win for the Eagles in the divisional matchup. Have a lot of divisional matchups this week. Number 2, almost there. I think you can. I think we all know who is number 1, but number 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs, uh, facing the Indianapolis Colts. Again, as we were talking about earlier, Indianapolis always loses to bad teams and usually beats the good teams. Reverse psychology with them. So, on paper, of course, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Isaiah Pacheco. You got Michael Hardman. You have infinite targets almost, and you have Patrick Mahomes. That's all you need. So they should be able to hold up against the Colts. And at number 1, obviously, the Buffalo Bills, once again, after their 41-7 obliteration of the Titans, facing their divisional rival, the Miami Dolphins. If they can uh, you know, keep what happened last week from happening again in regards to the Miami offense, then they should pull away with the W. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle need to be put down quite a bit, and the defense is apt for that. Definitely a top 5 defense in the league, and I have faith that they'll hold up fairly well. And that's it, guys. That's my power rankings for week number 3 of the NFL season. We'll be back with week number 4 next week. Got some good games this week as well. Yeah, enjoy your week, guys, and I will see you in the next video.